Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we're about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix in Glendale, Arizona. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They go play action here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The safety, Ross Cockrell, there to knock that one away. Time for us to introduce you to the defensive starters for Arizona. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. As we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big game. but he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 17 carries, 63 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, Garoppolo over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Gold is able to put it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This is how the defense will look for San Francisco. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, here we go.
This is Howard on 2nd down, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 20 carries, 58 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game, so expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And an update now from up in Seattle. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, a first quarter touchdown pass in that one. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. Now Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Garoppolo now, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Garoppolo looks to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end. And
even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor.
We got three down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, they run with Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They pitch out to Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gold now out to kick it away. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And now it's Rosen looking. And the grab by Croft. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. A dump down to McKinnon. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up.
And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This is Howard. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And his pass incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. 20. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. And now another one thrown incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rosen. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. On first down, it's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Rosen on first and 10. And he fends him off. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
On play action, Rosen. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On third down, Rosen. He finds Coleman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it first and goal at the 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Rosen to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyler Kroft His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
To try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 13-7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here we go.
Now McKinnon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let him outside where they can rip.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Set. 3-19.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. Look at the spin. Oh, he did it again. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
The Niners on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. On first down, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Garoppolo now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo again. Steps away to his left. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he is caught at the 7-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Dante Pettis in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. Russell Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head east to check out the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Jermaine Kearse, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Jared Goff leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Let's go!
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And a short gain here down to the 22. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So into Cardinal territory now. It's first and 10 at the 25-yard line. Throwing now is Garoppolo. His throw caught at about the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and make...
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that will get them one closer. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 16. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now they try the right side here. And no room to maneuver there. Give them a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Garoppolo 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big, and we're starting to see that here in the second half.
They'll run it with Johnson. David Johnson on his way. The 40, the 30, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 98 yards, and the Cardinals cut into that lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Now Sanders. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Rosen. The pass complete to Ryan Graham. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We got three. Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
On second down, Rosen. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Ryan Grant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Now for the point after. The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Goodwin. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A give to Howard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Here we go now.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now Rosen to throw on second down. And the grab by Croft. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, it's Johnson, and he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now let's go. Blue, 90.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 19.
On play action, Rosen. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Now Rosen on first down. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19. Rosen off the play action. And able to find Kirk complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Now Rosen. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green,
Again,
39.
it's Johnson.
Green, 39.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Here's Johnson, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield. Second and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals have broken the tie.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing.
Defense.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Back to throw. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Back to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click, And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cards, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.